Well, good morning, folks. Today is the 16th of December, 2025. Only 9 days from Christmas. Hope you've been doing shopping or finish your shopping pretty soon here. Excuse me. Anyway, what's going on today? Well, we got pretty quiet conditions, at least this morning, with some lake effect snow along the lake effect snow favorite areas with some onshore flow. Taking shape here along the west coast of the U.S., Northern California into parts of Washington and Oregon this morning. And the big story in, the short to midterm is going to be, and the longer term really, is the continuing rainfall on the west coast and the return of potential for severe weather today as well on the west coast. Locally, usually, most likely a high wind threat. And if a couple days out, maybe some severe weather here in the Tennessee Valley as well. I'll bring up my Epic pen here. There we go. Um, so let's get started here. So current temperatures. Okay, my map like I always do. Show you the temps here. It's pretty cold here this morning in Warner Robins, Georgia. In the single, well, near 20 degrees here. Some radiational cooling really hitting hard here. You can see even up north, warming up quite a bit, above freezing. Where a couple days ago it was sub-zero temperatures, so below freezing up here in Wisconsin, parts of Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, and in the teens to single digits potentially here. Now, if we look at, excuse me, my sinuses are really bad today. Wind speed. The highest winds, of course, are up north here with this enhanced jet stream coming on shore. And that's going to be the main player here in the short term and medium and long term, really. And the really part of the bigger story is, too, the warmer weather returning. Excuse me. To a good portion of the U.S., all right, in the coming days over Christmas time. All right, so we'll begin by going over some model guidance about the West Coast short-term model guidance, go over the local area forecast for my area here for Georgia. Then we'll go over some detailed information about from different areas here for the atmospheric river event that's going to be ongoing from different weather forecast offices here. We'll talk about severe weather, excessive rainfall outlook, which is going to be a big deal here, and those things. But I think we'll start off today with the excessive rainfall outlook, severe weather outlook. Talk about the um, amounts expected. Then we'll go to the local forecast, and then we'll expand to the rest of the nation with the localized weather forecast offices, things like that. So let's do that now. So for today, the excessive rainfall is a marginal risk here along the coast of Washington State, Oregon, parts of Northern California, and this is the most where the precip amounts are expected, the highest precip amounts. Not overly excessive here, but maybe right along the Gulf Coast here in Texas, looking to get some heavy rainfall and into the Intermountain West, and maybe in the parts of Iowa and the us this morning. Marginal risk surrounding it all the way up into parts of Washington State and to Northern California. All right. And the QPF, the precip totals for that day, you can see how much higher the precip totals are expected, right? And you have another cold front moving through the southeast here. And this is where severe weather may pick up, possibly here into this area, as outlined by the SPC, and we'll look at that. You see the rainfall totals 3, 4, 5 inches or more here in the parts of Oregon on Thursday. So excessive rainfall going a little further out. Looks like with a low pressure system moving to the north here, maybe potentially up into Maine and Vermont and parts of Northern California, uh, Oregon, Eugene, and moving to the south here a little bit, right? And that's going to continue into the south. And you have a marginal risk for day 5, which should be days day 1, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So continuing onshore flow here for the midterm as well. Now, when we look at severe weather, we got the potential for severe weather today along the west coast of the U.S. as a cold front pushes through parts of good portion of Oregon here, Kennewick, Portland, Salem, Eugene, likely due to high winds, right? Tornado potential, pretty low, and no hail potential, right? So we go to day 2. We have general thunderstorms down here also in the Texas and Louisiana potential here. Day 2, that system was further to the east with potential for thunderstorms into Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Nevada, and Oregon. And thunderstorms possible here into Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, and Illinois tomorrow. And then we have the severe threat marginal risk, at least right now, parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri. And this forecast will be refined in the coming days, likely due to there's no, this is probabilistic only, so 5% any severe risk this far out. As far as the local forecast to today, highs in the 50s to 60s in Georgia with clear skies. Tomorrow, well, tonight, excuse me. Lows near freezing for most of the state with above freezing temperatures down to the south, partly cloudy skies. And then warming up a little bit more, generally highs in the 50s to 60s for the south, and mostly cloudy skies tomorrow with no precip chances. So this is a graphic from Western Washington WFO. I was looking to see if this graphic was available for other weather forecast offices. It's not. So this is a max chance of precip on Thursday, right? But we look at 0 to 12 hours. This is already passed. 12 to 24 hours chance of precip in Seattle, Washington area. And you see the precip chances here. So quite a lot of rainfall expected. Precip chances through 3 days near 100%. Accumulations, but with just a light rain, the first, I mean, this is already passed. So 4 a.m. through 4 a.m. today, highest precip amounts, and you can see where the highest precip amounts are in the orange and yellows here. Right, and this is you see the times Wednesday 4 a.m. through Wednesday 4 p.m. But you see how much is there. Liquid accumulation today through tomorrow, upwards of 3 to 6 inches in the mountains. You see the highest amounts are. We just went through that, right? And then we talk about snow accumulation. You see the highest amounts up there in the Cascades, right? Especially up to the north, Diablo and all those areas. And that will continue. You see all the highest amounts, 24, 30 inches of snow in, 12 hours. Freezing level This is a pretty good graphic. So I just wanted to show you that. I know that's kind of busy, but I'm going to work on getting some access to more of those graphics for the other forecast areas. So I don't know if they put them out for all of them, though. We'll see. So this is a rainfall outlook for the Medford, Oregon area, Tuesday through Wednesday. See where the highest amounts are. Um, Monday night through Wednesday into parts of southern Oregon, um, Washington, moving into Idaho potentially here. Strong wind gusts. This is from the Medford, Oregon area again. The highest wind gusts expected further to the east here, um, up in the mountains and hills likely, upwards of 60 plus um, miles per hour. Cascades on the east side of the mountains, Tuesday night through Wednesday. Again, these are the total precip amounts Thursday through Friday here. River flooding, visibilities could be limited while traveling. Snow levels will rise with the um, onshore flow versus like a northerly flow with cold. So depends on where the pass levels are, whether you'll be able to travel through those passes or not. Spokane, Washington, sustained winds of 25 to 45 mile per hour with gusts of 50 to 70 miles per hour on Wednesday. So possibility of flying trampolines again for the inland northwest areas, Spokane, Washington, Monday through Tuesday, which is ongoing risk for flooding and rock slides. Continued heavy mountain rain Tuesday through Wednesday, and then Wednesday through Friday, heavy mountain snow. So, and the snow levels dropping in between those events. Increased risk of rock and mudslides during this time. So, and potential flooding of rivers and creeks. I'm having trouble this morning. Sorry, guys. Rivers and creeks. So for more north central and southwest Montana, high winds are the biggest threat here, possibly up to 100 miles an hour in some areas along the Rocky Mountain front and Montana Highway. Um, especially for large vehicles, 18 wheelers, things like that could be a big problem getting blown over, especially if they're empty. From the Missoula, Montana area, atmospheric river graphic. Monday and Tuesday, rainy and mild, and Wednesday, colder, snow and damaging winds. High snow levels to start with, and then snow levels dropping to the valley floor with damaging wind potential, slick roads, and especially on passes here. You see the area we're talking about. Um, damaging west-southwest winds, and you see the primary concern here. Greater risk of downed trees, block roads, power outage, damages to infrastructure. This is on Wednesday. Valleys, gusts to 50 to 70. Mountains in the Continental Divide, 80 to 100 miles an hour. Holy cow. That's going to be insane. High wind warning for the Glasgow, Montana area. You see the highest winds, sustained winds. This is 5 p.m. through 11 a.m. Tuesday. This is through this morning. So, strong crosswinds, and secure your trampolines. This was issued yesterday at 3:13 a.m. So this event will be winding down today. And then high winds again on Wednesday for the Glasgow, Montana area through 8 a.m. Wednesday through 5 a.m. Thursday. Excuse me. Winds northwest at 35 to 45 miles per hour, gusting to 65. So this is a big deal, guys. This wind event. Okay. Yeah. So for the Bismarck, North Dakota area, possibility of very strong winds statewide Wednesday through Thursday, and potentially accumulating snow with this, and widespread blowing snow and rain switching to snow in between these areas. And then further to the southwest, rain during the day, snow squalls at night. And you can see the variation in temperatures here in the North Dakota area. Highs and lows fluctuating quite a bit here with the different passages of cold front and then the Pacific, the jet stream, and where the boundary sets up of Arctic air and warmer Pacific air. Yeah, so, and these are the precipitations amounts. Maximum wind gust forecast for Bismarck. Select areas here, right? 40, 50 miles per hour in the select areas here. Tuesday through Thursday, potentially reaching close to 60 mile per hour wind gusts in some areas. Okay. So, that's it for the localized forecast for select areas with the atmospheric river event. As far as wind chills go, the wind chills aren't as big of a deal today. Although it's still cold if you would ask people that are trying to go out in this today, but generally in the single digits at the worst here today. So not as bad as it was, although I wouldn't go out with no jacket on today up there in the Midwest and things like that. As far as the local area 15-day forecast, I forgot to do this earlier. Coldest night is definitely this morning, warming up quite a bit. Then cold frontal passage again, warming up again to above normal for most of the period. But you see model uncertainty gets higher further out. Precip chances do increase as we get towards the move towards Christmas here. But there's quite a bit of model uncertainty with that, so we'll just have to see, but no snow expected. And here's a graphic updated from the atmospheric river for the major travel hazards coming up across the west. You can see what I'm talking about here. We already talked about this, but yeah, the message is heavy snow, heavy rain along the west coast through the end of the year at least. So as far as the simulated radar along the west coast, um, this gives you a good idea what's going on here. Just a heavy rain pouring onshore here, especially tomorrow, right? Then moving to the east, and the system moves to the north here. You see that low, and where that precip is expected. The cold front trailing down here, and then Thursday another shot of really heavy rain moving onshore. And you see where down in the south here where there might be some severe weather potential here, right? If you look a little bit further out, we go to the Euro. That system in the north keeps moving to the north of most of the continental U.S. Onshore flow out west here. Persistent onshore flow. We'll slide up some as we get a little bit further out. And then we have some more onshore flow moving further south with a cold front and more rain moving into Southern California. Right, and this is Friday. This is around Christmas time, so this is where we're going to end this. If we switch over to temperatures, you can see where the coldest temperatures are, but warm temps this far out, 60s, 70s for the European models projecting for highs here. So, and some intrusions of cooler air and maybe a CAD wedge developing further out in the period, but we'll go over that some more next time. As far as day 3 to 7 hazards, we showed this already, but heavy, well, I don't know if I showed this already or not, but we went over this. Generally the 18th through the 22nd is, and maybe the 19th up here, 3 days from now up in the Northeast. We talked about excessive rainfall and hazardous cold here into Alaska. So these are the areas where we got to really watch for next 3 to 7 days. And further out, we see the slight to moderate risk of excessive heavy precip along the west coast and down into the desert southwest. Snow, slight risk, moderate risk, high risk here, all the way through Christmas to the end of the year, really. High risk of high winds. You see where the highest risk is here. Intermountain West, all along to the west coast, pretty much west of the Rocky Mountains. And slight risk, 23rd through the 29th here. No hazardous temperatures expected except for up in Alaska. And here's a 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Colder than normal probably in most of Alaska. Above normal for most of the nation except for the northern tier of the U.S. And drier than normal for a good portion of the U.S. east of the Rockies to near normal. And of course on the west coast above normal, right? Chances of precip. The warm temps look to persist here for most of the nation, with the exception of the northern tier, the 23rd through the 29th. And Canada is going to be colder than normal, it looks like. Not Canada, Alaska and Hawaii, warmer than normal. Precip chances look to be suppressed here still in a good portion east of the Rockies, with exception maybe the northern tier of the U.S., into around the Great Lakes and then high plains and out west again. So persistent onshore flow, Pacific flow, keeping the cold air bottled up to the north. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. Hope you all have a great day, and God bless.